Hey dudes, earlier this week we did a video and we showed off the CoinOPS Legends 3 Max build, which is a smaller build, 745 games, to play with a controller on your TVs or hook it up to your Multicade arcade cabinets. Today we're looking at something a little bit different and a little bit larger. This is the brand new CoinOPS Collections build. This just came out recently by the CoinOPS folks. This is a 187 gigabyte build, 2,970 games, a pretty large mix of arcade and console games. And keep in mind, that is the size of just the base build that you start with. Later generation consoles, as well as additional games, will be released for this build called official packs, where you can add to your build. And those official collections packs will only work on this CoinOPS Collections build. So definitely keep your eyes out for those packs when they become available. Some of the cool features with the CoinOPS Collections build is this thing runs 8 times faster than their other famous build, CoinOPS Next 2. Has interchangeable bezels, high-definition artwork and videos. It does have second screen marquee support, LED blinky support, as well as 4 different themes. And again, this build is all in a 16:9 aspect ratio, predominantly meant to play on a 16:9 monitor or television set, or if you have a modded or DIY arcade machine with a 16:9 monitor. You also have optional glass effects, scan lines, etc. We're going to dive into a bunch of that. After you download and unzip the build, if you need help figuring out what your controls are, you're going to open up this helper image that's under the root directory of the CoinOPS build, and it's going to tell you everything you need to know about how to navigate the system, change menus, all that kinds of stuff. You can take a screenshot of this now, or just save it when you get it on your PC. There are some quick display settings and system options you can alter by clicking on the cogwheels, such as you could toggle the attract mode on or off. All you have to do is click the action button. Music on or off for the background menu music. You could also adjust if you want to have the glass effects on or off, the chrome logos, the real bezels on or off, as well as the scan lines on or off. Also, after you download and unzip your build, make sure you navigate down to the README file. This README file is super important. This README file will also give you a nice breakdown of all the games included. Out of the 2,970, there's 1,234 arcade games, 1,204 of them are main games, and then you have 30 other games, Sega Model 3, Daphne games, etc. There's 1,700 console games. It gives you a breakdown of how many games are included for each system, plus what additional add-on packs in red have already been installed on here. And don't forget, what's really cool about this particular build is that we're going to be able to expand this build using the collections or add-on game packs that will be released by the CoinOPS team. It'll also break down the themes, the handhelds, all that kinds of information for you. The README will tell you how to change all kinds of things, enable second screen mode, all that kinds of stuff, how to change your bezels, but what I love is they give you some awesome instructions here on how to get this up and running into an arcade cabinet using zero delay encoder boards, where to plug your buttons in on the encoder board, joystick, etc., as well as a diagram if you're using an iPack board, primarily for X input. Zero delay encoder boards are D input, I believe. How to use the how do you pronounce this? Zinmo 10 encoder boards, etc. So really fun to get this set up on an arcade machine. I love how easy they set up the different playlists on here. So from the main screen, if you just hit the down button all the way to the bottom, you'll be under the handhelds. If you hit up, you'll notice right here we are under our different console systems, where you can navigate all the console system playlists. You could also move up one more time, and boom, you're in your favorites. And of course, you can set your favorites, have your favorite systems, etc. All is where you start, so that has all 74 different playlists. Of course, you have, if you just wanted to narrow it down to your arcade playlists, right there with the Pac-Man logo. And then, of course, at the very top is going to be the different PC gaming playlists, Amiga, Apple II, Commodore, all that kinds of stuff. Let's show some gameplay demos of how everything is going to look. And what we've done here is we have everything turned on, everything. We have the glass effects, the reflections, the bezels, the scan lines. We have everything turned on. And as you can see, this really does kind of mimic what it would look like on a real arcade machine. And again, you could always toggle and play the way you want to play. So if you don't like the glass effects, you can turn those off. If you don't like the scan lines, you could turn those off. If you don't like the little reflections, you could turn those off as well. You could literally just play this in kind of pixel perfect mode, bright and colorful as well. Totally up to the user. What I loved about the CoinOPS Legends 3 Max build that I showed off in that video earlier this week was the fact that all the bezels, most of them I should say, on the arcade games were mimics of the original bezels that were on the original arcade. So, you know, if you're playing this in a 16:9 monitor on a television, those bezels really help, you know, keep everything in the proper aspect ratio, as well as surrounding the monitor gives you that immersive feeling like, hey, I'm playing on the original arcade cabinet. When it comes to this particular build, I haven't seen a lot of those original bezels, but then again, I haven't gone through all 2,000 games, etc. on the build. Most of the games I've picked and tested and tried, we've seen some really beautiful, high-definition, gorgeous artwork put together by the CoinOPS team, but I haven't seen a lot of those really nice original bezels that I loved on the last build. Alright, as we navigate over to the arcade menu and kind of start scrolling through a bunch of these arcade games so you can get a sense as to what's included. I mean, if you're looking for your favorite arcade game, there's 1,200 of some of the best games of all time on here, so odds are your game is included on this list. I want to give you my final thoughts on this. What I absolutely love, as you can kind of see here, you saw it earlier when we were switching the console systems, but I love it on this menu. Not only do you have the traditional CoinOPS wheel and artwork, but I love the fact that every single arcade cabinet on this menu, as you can see, as you switch games, the arcade cabinet changes, and it matches kind of what it looked like on the original arcade itself. That's a lovely touch in my opinion. Overall, this is a very nice build from the CoinOPS team. I really like it, and it is compatible with an arcade machine, especially if you have a 16:9 monitor. I don't believe there's a 4.3 version of this, but I'll keep my eyes out. You might ask me, PDubs, where do I go to download these builds? Well, as you guys know, my videos are for educational purposes only, and for my own safety and protection, I do not share direct links to downloads of this kind of content. What I can say is, you know, if you look in the two usual places, odds are you're going to find it. Google's your friend. Join the CoinOPS Discord, or click on one of the links in the video description below. They'll help point you in the right direction, but they're not direct links to the downloads because I don't do that, put myself at risk, etc. For that. But overall, I encourage you to check this build out. I think this is one of the better builds that the CoinOPS team has ever done. And the fact that it is expandable, my dudes. The fact that, you know, we'll be able to add game packs with the modern console systems and get a bunch of those games running on here, provided you have the appropriate PC, is pretty dope in my opinion. But let me know what you think about this build. As always, my dudes, give me your thoughts, feedback, reactions below. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up on the way out. And as always, my dudes, thank you for subscribing.